Ahoj, vítejte na čtvrtém závodě oblastního žebříčku Pražské a Středočeské oblasti, tentokrát v Říčanech. Běží se na mapě Pocta Junkovi. Je to dlouhá trať. Naše kategorie H40 to má 8,8 km. Je to poměrně plochý terén, máme převýšení jenom 75 metrů a celkem 16 kontrol, takže to bude takové hodně běhavé. Co já si pamatuju, tak tady ten les, že je to takový klasický hospodářský les, kde je hodně cest, takže to bude hodně oběhu, předpokládám, a uvidíme. No. Já vím, že posledně jsem tady trošku zakufroval, tak snad se mi to tentokrát povede líp a nestratím se. Užijte si záznam. Orientáku zdar. Hi folks, welcome to the recording of the race, orienteering race. This is a long course, 8.8 kilometers, 16 controls. The elevation here is not big, so the elevation gain was somewhat around 75 meters. To the first control, I basically followed these women, sort of. It was beginning of the race, so I was sort of adjusting to the map, folding it because it was a big format map, and basically decided to go sort of straight to control number 1, although as you can see on my left there is a road that leads to the river, and I believe that way it would have been a little bit more easier. So here I'm still following the line, more or less. Then here I started deviating to the right, but I noticed this small like a valley. So then I had to correct myself, and here I had to cross this small river, so I was just looking for the right place where to cross it. I also already noticed that there is this fence area behind the river, so that sort of led me to this place. Yeah, here and there I step wrongly, so that's why the camera is then shaky. Now here behind this road there is probably a old quarry. So I was thinking that I will just find this edge of this cliff and then climb around it up to the control. Good strategy, went fine, or went well. I have found the control, no issue. To control number 2, I just wanted to follow the contour. More or less it worked. As you can see, I'm not really following the contour. I'm going slightly across it, slightly uphill, but generally in the direction of the control tool, which was again some small cliff. And at this point somewhere, when I got to the edge, or where the hill started to be more steep, I already saw the control somewhere here, so then I just followed towards it. And from there to control number 3, that was again sort of easy, because there are these sort of narrow rides or paths, so I just followed them till the control number 3, basically. The only place where I thought I have to be cautious is that big crossing, so I thought when I see that big road joining the road from which I will be coming, then I will take it to the left to control number 3. And I did it and executed nicely, so no issue there. To control number 4, that was, I would say, almost some sort of compulsory part, because we had to cross this big road, or a public road. There were organizers watching and stopping cars, and behind this road I wanted to go as straight as possible, but there was this water line, and it was full of water, so I didn't want to end up like this guy. I wasn't that courageous, and I decided to go around a little bit further and find a better spot where to cross this water erosion. No. And then from this point, I sort of tried to go in the direction of some, leafy or more dense part of the forest, because here on my left it looked like there is a clearing, or I don't know, some kind of marsh. It wasn't very clear to me what is it from the map, and so I sort of followed the direction I took, the bearing I took, and then I came to this edge of the vegetation border, which was fine after all, but I wasn't very fast here. Now to control number 5, that was a long leg. First I wanted to follow this narrow ride, but to be honest, it was hard for me to orient in this sort of forest where they were logging recently. So this non-readable forest on my left, that sort of helped me, and I was like, okay, that's probably where I am. But then at some point here something didn't matched in my head, and I lost completely lost orientation. I wasn't able to tell from which direction I came, and at this point I didn't have enough how to say that, orientation. So here I'm looking basically back, and I saw these fenced areas or some open areas, and I had to turn several times. I had to turn the map and find the north. It took me about a minute, although I could have just go straight here, and that way I would get to the field. But when I finally find the north and orient myself, I will go to the right. Just a minute. Now I decided to go to the right. This way I will get to the bigger road, and there finally it clicked, and I finally found myself, found again the flow, and now I decided that I will go sort of straight. I found this narrow right, so I went through it, and then basically follow this direction almost up to the field, and then around the field. I also catched some other runner here, and he was going the same direction, so I basically followed him, and then when I was at the edge of the field, it all made sense, and nothing really difficult happened until control number 5, let's say. So here I started follow this small river or stream, and then I, again I was looking for a place where to cross it, and then just follow it, follow the direction. My first, like, not a strategy, but thought was I have to find these other water lines that are going to this main one, and when I will cross them, then I will start looking for control number 5. But also there were other runners which helped me, because I thought, okay, they must be going to the same control, so sort of follow them again, and then the control was somewhat here. Again, it was some junction of these water lines. To me, this structure looked like some old dam, let's say, a small dam. But back to the race, to control number 6, I wanted to go like straight. I thought that I should see these 2 big trees, but actually I sort of missed them. I just ran past them now, but then here I started looking for them. I was expecting them somewhat here, but here was this junction, so I just had to readjust myself and to pick the right direction. And then I followed this narrow right up until control 6. Again, at control 6 I was losing time by looking for it, so that was not ideal. I lost few seconds here. The control is on my right and I'm going to the left. Anyways, now to control number 7. Here that was a little bit tough for me to decide whether to go from the right or from the left. It seemed like same distance, although now that I'm looking at it, I would say that going through the left it was longer. So here I'm thinking which way to go, and then I decided to go from the left because it's more along this paths and roads, and I thought it will be easier to navigate. So that strategy sort of worked, but of course I was still deciding how to attack the control number 7. Then I basically, at the next junction, I just decided to go sort of straight and just take a bearing and go straight to the control, and that's what I did, and it worked well. Now to control number 8, that was one of the longer legs again. I didn't notice that there is this road on my left. I saw some runners on the live logs going that way, and it was probably faster because that road took them to that third small dam or pond, and then they could just cross it and go straight, more or less. Here I decided to go down, again along the line between the controls, which wasn't that bad, but it was a little bit more tricky to navigate. And here I sort of followed this path, but here I wasn't able to read the contours, and that's what sort of misled me. And I was like, I thought that I'm already at the next pond, at the second one, and I wasn't there. So that's why I stopped and didn't really run here. But after a while it occurred to me that maybe I'm just behind the hill, and I don't see the pond. So when I actually started running and started like feeling the ground, feeling the contours, I finally realized it somewhere here that maybe the next pond is somewhere behind this small hill. And then I crossed here the dam, and behind it I just followed the path that goes from that is on the right side of these ponds up until those water lines you can see there. Then I just follow those water lines to the big road where are the small fenced areas. So I will speed it up until there a little bit. As you saw from these fenced areas, I took a bearing, and I wanted to hit that significant tree, which I wasn't successful with, but more or less I followed the bearing correctly, and then I noticed that there is someone leaving the control, so that guided me. Now from control 8 to 9, this was a long leg. At first I wanted to go somewhat straight, but then I noticed that the best way would be to go back to the main road and along this main road almost to control number 9. And so I will speed it up here, and when I will get to that junction near control 9, I will continue. So here I think I made a little bit of a mistake, because I could have gone straight up until the fenced area. Instead, I sort of wanted to go along the bearing straight, let's say. So here I'm just taking the bearing or thinking about some nonsense. But then I sort of followed the strategy, and again, near the control there were other runners, so I had no issue to attack the control correctly. So I could have been faster here a little bit, but at least I didn't make a mistake here. Again, here you can see the runners, so I was following their direction, and then there was this old tree trunk. So I will directly follow to control number 10, which at least first I decided to go sort of straight, because going back to that main road, that road didn't really lead to control 10, and I would have to go along some path anyway. And then if I would go along this first bigger path, then it would be too long again. So there were a lot of these narrow rides or what, so I went straight, and I think it was a pretty good decision, because it made my way to control number 10 at least a little bit shorter. And there was also this fenced areas that helped me to navigate quite nicely. And then when I got to these paths or roads, it was easy, because you just follow them up until control 10. From control number 10 to 11, that was a compulsory segment, let's say, because we had to cross these two big roads, and the organizers tried to avoid it, and they have found this through like a bridge. The one is a small bridge, the other one is more of a tube. So they guided us through that, and then up until control 11, that was there was basically a path made by all the runners. So I will speed it up. Now to control number 12. Again, I think I'm trying too hard to go along the line between the controls. I could have gone just straight along this road, and then at the second fenced area I could have taken it straight down to control number 12. Instead, I decided to go along the bearing. I don't know why I am like that, but that's how I am. And then you can see that there is a small cliff near the second fence area. That's where I didn't went precisely along it, but I noticed it and I knew that somewhat behind it I should cross this small stream and go and attack my control, and that sort of worked well. And again, there were a lot of runners, so I didn't have an issue to find the control. Now to control number 13. I think I had some sort of map reading issue here, or I don't know what happened, because it took me a while to notice that there is a path that leads basically along this fenced area almost to control number 13. And these guys, they had a different control. Their control was somewhat in that non-runnable forest, so they were a little bit misleading me, but I was not following them and got to this control, which was, again, many people were coming to the control, so it was very easy to get there. From control 13 to 14, that was one of the longest, maybe it was the longest leg. So first I wanted to get to this bigger path or road along this small path, and it was pretty easy, and there was this junction that confused me a little bit here, but fortunately it didn't throw me off that much, so I followed the path further, and then when I was on that bigger road, I started thinking which way to go to control 14, actually, because I saw these possibilities, to get to that vehicle road, and then there is one smaller path going to the left, but then I would be lost somewhere in the middle of the forest, or I would have to, and if I would go along that big road, that big vehicle road, then it seemed like it was a little bit too long. And then I noticed that there is this small path that is just continuation of this road where I am now, this bigger path that leads to the field, and then along the field I can run almost to control 14, which I did, and it was probably the faster option. So here I took a little bit of time to just, figure out exactly which way to go. And here I did small mistake. It was not 100% readable for me, this clearing, so I went too much to the left here, ended up in one of the corners, and I had to go back. And then I just follow this small narrow ride or path up to control 14. Again, I was a little bit too early to go to the control, but yeah, no other issues here. And then to control 15, I just basically got back to this road and followed it, although it ended up somewhere in the middle of the forest. I just followed the direction sort of, and I knew that I have to go down, like down the slope, so the ground I was going down, or how to say, so that was good. And I thought, okay, I need to go a little bit maybe to the right side, because that road was actually leading more to the left. And when I got to this main vehicle road, there was this non-runnable forest in front of me, so I went around it from the right side and then just followed the direction almost to control number 15. When I was closing in, I actually deviated slightly and I had to readjust. That was a little bit of a bummer because I lost again a couple seconds there. So here, well,
there was this area that was not very, readable for me. A lot of small non-readable forests, some paths, some water lines. I didn't really want it to go straight to Control 16, so I decided to go from the left side, let's say, in the direction of the finish. That worked sort of well, but then when I was close, I was not 100% sure if I can go through the finish or around it, how to exactly execute it. So I decided to go to the right and then through that non-runnable forest. I think that was again a little mistake that cost me a couple seconds or something, because when you are in non-runnable forest you cannot run, and going along the paths around the finish, that would have been faster, I guess. I'm quite certain about it, to be honest. So here I decided to go to the right. Now I see that it was not that it was not the best solution, but that's what I did. I should have followed these guys. They were there first and faster, But it was a good race. I think it was pure, long, not too much orienteering, like small, detailed orienteering. It was more about route choices, and it was nice. And I think for the most part my route choices were the correct ones or the better ones. So I'm pretty happy with my performance. Here, this was not the best one, but it got me into the finish and it got me to the control. So I can't complain. Hope you enjoyed, and see you at my next adventures. Bye bye.
Malá pozávodní analýza. Tak na jedničku, tam jsem vyběhl jakoby skrz ten les, pak netrefil jsem úplně směr, já jsem tam běžel kolem nějaké oplocenky a pak tam bylo pak jsem přešel tu řeku, tam byla to nebyla oplocenka, to byla jenom nějaká malá paseka. Pak jsem běžel kolem té oplocenky a kolem toho lomu nebo té hráze nahoru. Dvojka byla skoro napřímo, tam jsem se snažil jsem se držet vrstevnice. Od dvojky jsem vyběhl po cestičce na cestičku, pak na tu další cestičku prostě a na tu velkou cestu, a pak už jsem si to tam hlídal. Tam to bylo jednoduché, pak se přeběhlo. Na čtverku jsem to ještě taky zvládl, ale ze čtverky na pětku jsem se nějak blbě zorientoval, tam jsem špatně doběhl jsem spíš na druhou stranu k nějakým oplocenkám, nebo jako vůbec nevím. Pak jsem se tam tak jako chvíli musel zorientovat. Takže ta čtverka, mezi čtverkou a pětkou, tam jsem chvíli jako stále čučel do mapy, než jsem se zorientoval. A pak už jsem se tam chytl nějakého člověka, který zřejmě běžel podobně jako já. Takže pak jsem to bral, pak už jsem se našel, běžel jsem tak nějak jako napřímo po těch cest, až jsem doběhl k tomu poli a pak jsem běžel k tomu poli. Jo. Já jsem nejdřív běžel po té jedné dlouhé cestě, myslím tam někde. Ale není mi to jasné, kde jsem se tam zamotal. Ale jak už jsem se dostal k tomu poli, tak už to bylo jasné, na pětku to bylo taky. Tam už jsem se držel toho potůčku. Jo, a pak jsem přeběhl přes tu hráz a tam byla ta kontrola. Šestka byla taky jednoduchá, tam to bylo vlastně po tom průseku až k té kontrole. Sedmička, tam jsem to obíhal zleva, což jako nevím, jestli bylo úplně nejlepší, ale přišlo mi to aspoň navigačně pro mě nejlepší. Trošku jsem se nedokázal rozhodnout, kudy, nakonec jsem se tam nějak zkracoval, pak přes les, no divný to bylo, co se týče jako mého běhu. No a pak ze sedmičky na osmičku tam jsem si nebyl jistý, kudy jsem nepřešel. Už to vidím, tady touhle cestičkou jsem šel. Pak jsem se dostal k tomu rybníku, tam jsem to přeběhl po hrázi teda nakonec. A pak jsem běžel jakoby z pravé strany toho rybníka. Furt dál, proběhl jsem to, tam byla paseka, hustník. A pak jsem doběhl na cestu a z té cesty jsem to vzal azimutem a to mě docela vyšlo. Což bylo jako dobrý. A pak, když jsem na to čučel, na tu osmičku, na devítku, tak jsem se radši vrátil na cestu a bral jsem to po cestě zprava až na tu devítku. Tam zase, když jsem se blížil, tak jsem si dával pozor. No, z devítky na desítku, to bylo teda, jsem šel napřímo, ale vedli tam nějaké takové cestičky. A pak, jak jsem se dostal na takovou tu jednu hlavní spojnici, tak už jsem běžel furt po cestě, nechtěl jsem je drát někde napřímo nějakýma husníkama. 10-11 to byl v podstatě povinný úsek. Na 12 tam jsem tak jak běžel jakoby trošku přes kopec napřímo, doběhl jsem k jedné takové skalce, kolem jsem to ní bral a tam šli lidi, tam bylo hodně lidí, takže já jsem to pak hezky došel až k tu 12. Na 13 jsem to vzal doleva k té oplocence kolem ní a pak do té jámy. Z jámy jsem to vzal nahoru na ten průsek, na tu cestičku až na tu hlavní cestu a pak furt až k poli a zase pak až k poli jsem doběhl kolem pole, až tam byla taková lavička, pak tam jsem se sice trošku zašmodrchal, ale našel jsem to dobře, tu kontrolu 14. 15 byla furt dolů, tam to bylo vlastně docela jednoduché. A 16, no, tam jsem to bral po nějakých takových jako cestičkách skoro až k cíli a pak jsem to tam proběhl až na tu 16 a šup do cíle. No, bylo tam pár takových jako záseků, ale vlastně nakonec dobrý.